Greetings to you all. I take this wonderful opportunity to welcome each and every one of you to our BLIS online program from the School of Social Sciences, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Well, my name is Zuchamo Yantan, Faculty of Library and Information Science. Well, today's main focus of discussion is the Unit 1 of BLI 2 to 5 Communication Skills, that is Basics of Communication Skills. Well, before we go into the main discussion of today's topic, I think it is important for us to have a little bit brief understanding of the course, that is communication skill. Well, BLI 2 to 5 Communication Skills, it is having 5 blocks. And the block 1 covers, is titled as Communication Fundamentals. And here in this block, it will cover the basics of communication and social skills. Of course, today we are going to discuss on this particular unit. And the second block is titled as Preparing for the Job Interview. And here in this particular block, we shall be covering, your profile, preparing your profile, portfolio, preparing your curriculum vitae, the job interview. And in block 3 is titled as Workplace Skills. And here in this particular block, the units are presentation skills, telephonic skills, group discussions, and body language. And the block 4 is titled as writing skills. Here in this particular block, it covers the units like the internal communication, introducing yourselves, communication with customers, communicating with service providers. And finally, we have the block 5, which is titled as advanced writing skills. Here in this block, the units are like the writing proposals, writing reports, designing of survey questionnaire. So this is a very brief introduction of the blocks which is covered in this course communication skills. We have just introduced this. I hope this will help us to, in a way, before we go further discussion, I hope this will help us to have some understanding of what we are going to learn from this particular course, that is communication skills. Well, and the learning outcomes of this particular course are like after studying this particular course, the learners are expected to understand the different styles of communication, understand the effective speaking skills, develop effective reading comprehensions, understand how to write a good personal profile, explain presentation skills and be able to deliver presentation effectively, and understand the writing process, how to write a drafts, reviewing, editing, and proofreading, and understand why proposals are written and describe the features of proposal. This is the learning outcome of the entire course, that is BLI 2 to 5 Communication Skills. So now let us go to our main discussion for today, that is Unit 1. And the topic is titled as Basics of Communication Skills. Well, so the learning outcomes of today's presentation are, after attending this lecture, the learners are expected to explain what is communication and understand the different types of communication, understand why we study communication skills, explain the relevancy of studying communication skills in LIS, that is Library and Information Science, and understand the benefits of communication skills, and finally explain how communication help in building credibility not only at your workplace but also everywhere. So these are the learning outcomes of today's presentation. Well, there's a saying which is stated by Rob Brown. It says, if you can speak, you can influence. And if you can influence, you can change. I think this speaks a volume about the importance and the power of communication skills. This itself is an explanatory how powerful and how effective communication skills can be in influencing and also in social transformation. And of course, again, Brit Morrison stated, of all life skills available to us, communication is perhaps the most empowering. And Richard Branson stated, communication makes the world go around. It facilitates human connections and allows us to learn, grow, and progress. It's not just about speaking or reading, but understanding what is being said, and in some cases, what is not being said. Stated by Richard Branson. I think this itself is very much explanatory about the importance of communication skills. Well, before we go further, I think it is important for us to understand what is communication. Well, communication means transferring thoughts, information, emotion, and ideas through gesture, voice, symbols, signs, and expressions from one person to another. And in communication process, there are three very important things. That is sender, receiver, and the channel. The sender is encoding the messages in any form like voice, written, or any signs. So they are often called as encoder. And the receiver is decoding the message from the sender to understand the message. So they are often called as decoder. And any message or information needs channel or a medium to send out the information. And it is called channel or the medium. So these are the three very important processes in communication. And the purpose of communication, of course, it varies from person to person and situation to situation. But overall, the main purpose of communication is sending out information, educating a community, expressing one's feelings, planning and coordinating activity in society, or also in a personal, not necessarily, maybe within the family, or warning signals or sending out threats and influencing the masses. And successful communication, well, successful communication is said to be accomplished when the receiver not only receives the message, but also accepts, interprets, and use it in the manner intended by the source. That means clarity in receiving, or clarity in communicating and also in receiving. Yes, and it also makes learning easier, helps students achieve goals, increase opportunities for expanded learning, strengthens the connection between student and teachers, and creates an overall positive experience. And this itself is a self-explanatory about the power and the impact of communication, and effective communication. And why study communication skills? Well, Dr. Lee Macken, professor of communication, says studying communication can improve how we see others, as communication is the way we meet others, develop and manage relationships, and work effectively with others. He further adds, studying communication develops important life skills, critical thinking, problem solving, conflict resolution, team building, and public speaking. And good communication is about understanding instructions, acquiring new skills, making requests, asking questions, and relaying information with ease. And good communication skills are perhaps the most basic skills that you can possess, as an employee. Yet they remain one of the most sought after skills by employers. And like why, let us try to understand why communication skills is increasingly becoming important field of study. Well, due to our increasing globalized, connected world, communications growing in importance and relevance by day. And effective communication skills not only take your career in the right direction, but also help in building better credibility and likability at workplace. When we talk about the increasing globalized, society, well, before before it was globalized, or before the connectivity in the world was not like today, the communication was in a way not as much as in today's time. And however, in today's time, due to the globalization and also because of the impact of ID, there is a lot of intermingling cross cultures. And so that this is the reason why it becomes very important to learn good communication skills so that we will be able to deal with people from not only from our culture but also from different cultures and communities coming from different countries, and also of course within country as well, who are different. So in such situation there are a lot of chances of misunderstanding, because what it means in another society may not be what may be formal communication in another society may not be considered as formal, and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why, especially in today's globalized time, it has become very important for us to have a better understanding about different cultures, so that it will also help us communicate with people cutting across cultures and nationalities. And again, why study communication skills in library and information science? Well, librarianship is in its entirely is a service oriented profession. Not just service, but service delivery based on precision and timeliness. So like LIS profession, LIS, Library and Information Science, is very much a service-oriented profession, service-oriented profession. And so in a library, different people, different types of people from different backgrounds, people from different cultures visits library. And there is a lot of communication activities in the library. In a way, like people will be coming to library asking for guidance of getting a particular information or getting a direction to a book, and also maybe looking for certain issues, and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of communication activities taking place in the library. So it becomes very, very important. In fact, that is the reason why it becomes very important to study communication skills in the discipline of Library and Information Science. Hence, in BLIS, Bachelor's Degree of Library and Information Science, we have introduced the course on communication skills, with a vision that the students, after studying this part, after acquiring this degree, they will be able to effectively communicate well, wherever they may be placed. And What is its relevancy in LIS? The relevancy of studying communication skills in library and information science. Well, communication, as you know, is the heart of every organization. Everything we do in the workplace or outside is a result from our communication. And communication not only helps people to facilitate the process of sharing information and knowledge, but also helps people to develop relationship with others. And good communication skills are essential to allow others and yourselves to understand information more accurately and quickly. And as I have stated, library and information science is a service-oriented profession, and librarianship in its entirely, is service-oriented, not just service, but service delivery based on precision and timeliness, of all which must be geared towards users' satisfaction. And in order to provide a user satisfaction, it is important. The communication skills plays a very vital role, in users' satisfaction in the library service. So that is, it's a justification of the relevancy of studying communication skills in the discipline of library and information science. And now the question is, can communication skills be learned? Well, the answer is yes. Communication skills can be learned because we have the capacity to learn or imbibe the skills, but we were born without, not being able to communicate except through, like gestures and, how do I say, like baby crying and like that. So communication, so as we grew up, as we started to grow up, we started learning these skills, that is communication skills, able to speak. Yeah, and speaking, listening, and our ability to understand verbal and non-verbal meanings are skills we develop in various ways. And we learn basic communication skills by observing other people and modeling our behavior based on what we see. And why studying communication skills becomes important? Well, studying communication can improve self-knowledge and self-perception because most self-knowledge comes to us, through communication. And communication can improve how we see others, as communication is the way we meet others, develop and manage relationships, and work effectively with others. And everything you do in a workplace are results, from communication. And therefore, good reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills are essential if tasks are going to be completed and goals to be achieved. And as you develop your career, you will find various reasons why successful communication skills are important to you. And well, now we shall try to understand the different types of communication. Well, there are two basic types of communication. One is verbal communication, and the second one is non-verbal communication. The verbal communication refers to the form of communication in which message is transmitted verbally. Communication is done by word, mouth, and the communication happens through vocally, or through written words which express or convey the message to others is called the verbal communication. And verbal communication has two types. Verbal communication has two types. One is oral and the second one is written. Well, the oral communication takes place through word of mouth, spoken words, conversations, and also any messages or information are shared or exchanged between One another through speech or word of mouth is called oral communication. And some of the examples of oral communications are public speaking, news reading, television, radio, broadcasting, telephone, and mobile conversations. And the second one is written communication. In written communication, written signs or symbols are used to communicate rather. A written message may be printed or handwritten. And in written communication, message can be transmitted via email, letter, a report, memo, etc. And message in written communication is influenced by the vocabulary and the grammar used, writing styles, precisions, and clarity of the language used. And non-verbal communication. Well, any communication without word of mouth, spoken words, conversation, and written languages are called non-verbal communication. And it happens through signs, symbols, colors, gestures, body language, or any facial expressions are known as non-verbal communication. And I think, I think one of the perfect examples is traffic signals. For example, like in traffic signals, it has got red lights, right? It has a symbol like cross and the symbol right? And over there, like accordingly, we go through. And the color, and in a traffic signals, it also has a color. Green means it's signaling us to move, and red means it's signaling us that we have to stop. Like that. So I think nonverbal communication, one of the perfect example can be the traffic signals. And of course, before all these traffic signals came into being, we used to have traffic police who will give us different kind of a non-body, non-verbal communication, signaling us to stop, to go, and so on and so forth. So that is an example of a non-verbal communication. And now the next question is, why communication skills are so important at the workplace? Well, good communication is important in the world of work, and to perform successfully alongside your colleagues, understand your role, and promote the organizations in a positive manner, you will need to communicate in many ways. And effective communication will help you, more chances to move forward in your career too. And networking is one of the best ways to find new opportunities. And good workers are good communicators, right? And the benefits of effective communication skills at a workplace are that good communication matters at workplace because few jobs are solo acts. Means like there are very few jobs where we do alone, but then most of the jobs are collaborated. We work with others. We collaborate and we work with others. So good communication skills help us building a team, because there is a kind of understanding, because of the understanding of the vision of a particular organizations. It helps them to build up the team and making things clear, because if you are a good communicator, you are able to make things in a much clarity, in a simple way. You are able to make it very clear to the listeners. So I think that is a very important advantage of the benefits of having a good communication skills. And managing diversity, with a mix of races, nationalities, genders, or faith on the job, it's easy, for people to accidentally offend each other. So if you are a good communicator, you are able to manage, diversity, people coming from different background, people coming from different nationality, races, and cultures, you are able to manage, manage them very well. So these are one of the main benefits of effective communication skills at the workplace, and you are able to deal better with problems, and then you are also able to build up stronger relationships, strong relationships and ideas and innovation. If you are having good communication skills, you are able to, in a way, you are able to translate your knowledge in a more effective and in a more innovative way. And customer ambassadors, the more employers knows about the company, its cultures, its products and services, and its response to any negative issues, the better job they can do of serving as ambassadors to the community, their friends, relatives, and other business connections. And it also builds up strong teamwork, which I have just mentioned. Effective, organizational communication will lead to strong teamwork and the ability for employees at all levels of the organization to work together to achieve company goals. And how communication influences your credibility to others. I think this is very, very important. Well, the way you become more credible in society is through your communication, right? And how you choose to interact with everyone around you contributes to your credibility as a person and a professional. So it's no small matters to say that you need to be aware of your body language and the way you talk to others and treat people. And good communication and bad communication can have wonderful and devastating effects on your credibility in the workplace. But what is credibility made up of? It can contain many elements such as likability as an individual, competency, self-awareness, ability to manage expectations, experience, and qualifications. So now, we are coming to the end of our discussion. We shall try to have some reflections of what we have discussed in today's presentation. Well, we have understood that since communication is the heart of every organization, it is important to study and learn the skills, that is communication skills. We have also understood that studying communication can help improve self-knowledge and self-perception, because most self-knowledge comes to us through communication, right? And studying communication can improve how we see others, as communication is the way we meet others, develop and manage relationships, and work effectively with others. And we have also understood different types of communication skills, different types of communication in this presentation. And we have also understood that communication can be learned, because it is a skill, so it can be learned. Well, we have also learned that building good communication skills helps in building credibility, not only at your workplace or at our workplace, but also everywhere. So with this, we come to the end of our today's presentation, and we will continue further. The next lecture will be on social skills. With this, we come to the end of our today's presentation. Thank you very much.